Hello students, how are you? Hope you all are healthy and safe at your home. I am Shweta Jain representing Shiv Jyoti Educational Group Kota. Children, today I am back here to teach you Science chapter number 11, Air, Water and Weather part 2. All of you open your books, chapter number 11, Air, Water and Weather, page number 94. So children, today we will discuss part 2 of this chapter. We have already studied about the sun and the weather, air and some part of water. So rest of it we will take today. So before we come to water cycle, children, let us recall the contents of part 1. So children, weather, basically weather is the condition of air at a particular place and time, and it changes from day to day. Now, weather is affected by sun and air. So in this part we have studied that how sun affects the weather of a place. There are two types of movements of earth. First type is rotation, and rotation movement causes day and night, and second type of movement of earth is revolution, in which earth revolves around the sun in its own orbit, and this type of movement, that is revolution, it causes changes in seasons. Then sun causes winds to blow. When sun heats up the water and changes it into water vapor, then this water vapor comes in the air, and the amount of water vapor present in the air is called humidity. Now, air is present all around us. It is mixture of gases. This we have studied in part 1 of this chapter, and the blanket of air surrounding the earth is called atmosphere, and moving air is called wind, and if wind is blowing gently and slowly, it is called as breeze, and if it is strong, this strong wind is called as gale. Strong winds can cause storms also. In part 1 we have also studied about land breeze and sea breeze. So let us recall them. What is sea breeze? So children, during the daytime, the wind which blows from sea to land is called as sea breeze, and during the night time, the wind which blows from land to sea is called as land breeze. And why this difference is here? Because land cools up and heats up faster than water. Now children, we use water for lots of activities like drinking, cooking, bathing, cleaning, washing, swimming, etc. The water which seeps into the ground and passes through the soil is called as underground water, and the level of underground water is called as water table. Now there are two processes called evaporation and condensation, about which we have already studied that evaporation is the process through which the liquid form of water gets converted into gaseous form of water, that is steam or water vapor on heating. And another process is called condensation, through which gaseous form of water, that is water vapor or steam, is converted into liquid form, that is droplets of water, through cooling. So these are two processes. Now the water which condenses, it has different forms like dew, which occurs on the surface of leaves on cold mornings as drops of water. Then fog is there. When it is very cold, water vapor condense on dust particles to form thick clouds of tiny droplets of water, which is called as fog. When it is very cold, dewdrops freeze to form frost, and when raindrops pass through a very cold region, they get converted into hail. And then in extremely cold weather, like in the hilly areas, water vapor condenses to form snow, and when water vapor condenses and falls to the ground in form of water droplets, it is called as rain. So these are some of the forms of water on condensation. So children, this was all about the part 1. We have already discussed all this in detail. Now we come to water cycle. So all of you open page number 98 of your book. Let us come to water cycle. The process of evaporation and condensation are going on continuously in the nature. Water evaporates from the water bodies due to the sun's heat. It then rises up and condenses to form tiny droplets of water. These tiny droplets of water together form clouds. Inside clouds, these droplets become bigger. When the droplets of water become too heavy to remain afloat in the air, they fall down or as rain or snow. The rainwater flows back to water bodies. The continuous process is called water cycle. So children, let us understand water cycle through this diagram. So children, as I have told you that process of evaporation and condensation are continuously taking place in nature. So these two processes helps in cycling of water. Now let us see how water cycle occurs in nature. Now you can see here, this is a water body. Water is filled over here and this is the part of land. Now sun is shining brightly in the sky. So when sun shines, it gives out heat. Due to the heat of sun, water present in these water bodies get evaporated and get converted into water vapor. Just now I have told you that evaporation is the process through which liquid water get converted into gaseous form. So when it get converted into gaseous form, it starts rising up. So here you can see children that when water from the water bodies get heated up, it started rising up, and this process is called evaporation. Now when this water rises up and moves up, it cools down and condenses to form clouds. Here you can see clouds are formed over here. Now how clouds are formed? When this water vapor comes to a height and get cooled down, it condenses to form clouds. So the process here is called as condensation. Now the tiny droplets of water present in these clouds, when they stick together, they become bigger in size. Now when they become bigger in size, they become heavy. So they start falling as rain. Here you can see in the diagram shown, this water is now falling as raindrops, and when it fall down as raindrops, it is returned back to the water bodies. So children, here we can see that this is a cyclic process. Water from the water bodies is converted into water vapor, that is gaseous form. It reached to the sky, there it get converted into clouds, then later it falls again in form of rain or snow, and again it get mixed with the water bodies. So this is a cyclic process. The water has started moving from water bodies, again returns back to the water bodies. So this type of process is called as water cycle. Now children, let us learn how to draw water cycle in your notebooks. Okay, so for that, first you make a piece of land over here. Now some mountains are here. Then we draw a sun over here. So children, this way you have to draw the water cycle. First we will draw a part of land over here. Then this is a water body. It is filled with water. It can be anything, river, ocean, lake, pond, anything, any water body. Now here this is sun, and here I have made clouds. Now see children, what happens during water cycle? The water from the water bodies get heated up by the sun's heat, and it starts getting converted into water vapor, and this process is called as evaporation. By the process of evaporation, this water get heated up and get converted into water vapor. Now when it reaches to a height, it get cooled down and condense to form clouds. So this process here is called condensation. Now when clouds are formed, the water droplets or the tiny water droplets which are present in clouds, they stick together to form bigger water droplets and they start falling down as rain or snow. So in this way, the water which was evaporated from here, it is returned back to the water bodies. So this is called as water cycle. So children, here we can see this water through evaporation moved to the clouds, to the sky, then it condensed in the clouds, then it fall down as rain and then it is again returned back to the water bodies. So this complete process or this complete cycle we can see here. I am showing it with these dotted lines. So this is a complete cycle in which water is returned back to its source. This is called as water cycle. So children, now we come to the next topic, that is purification of water. We should drink clean water. The water in wells, rivers and ponds contains soluble impurities, insoluble impurities and germs, making it unfit for drinking. So children, what is the source of drinking water for us? These are wells, rivers and ponds. But this water which is coming from wells, rivers and ponds, it has several impurities. Some of the impurities are soluble impurities. These are the impurities like salts that dissolve in water and cannot be seen. And some of the impurities are insoluble impurities. These are the impurities that can be seen as they do not dissolve in water, and besides this it also contains some germs. So the impurities present in water can make us fall sick. Water can be purified by various methods. Some of them are given below. So for purification of water, to make it clean, there are several methods. Some of them are sedimentation and decantation. Second is filtration. Third is boiling, and fourth is chlorination. So let us come to sedimentation and decantation. Now, in this method, water is allowed to stand for some time in a container. All the mud and insoluble impurities settle down at the bottom of the container. The process in which insoluble impurities settle down is called sedimentation. So children, what is sedimentation over here? When we keep the water for some time, then the insoluble impurities, they start settling down. So when these impurities settle down, this process is called as sedimentation. Now the water is gently poured out into another container without disturbing the settled impurities. The process by which water is gently poured out to another container after sedimentation is called decantation. So children, when impurities settle down, after that, without disturbing those impurities, we pour down the upper layer of the water into some other container, and this process is called as decantation. Then the water we get after decantation is not very clean, as it may still contain very fine impurities. So the next process here is filtration. It is another method of purifying water. In this process, water is passed through a filter paper. Filter paper allows water to flow through it, but not impurities. The impurities are left behind on the filter paper and clean water is collected in a container below. Decanted water can also be filtered to remove impurities. So children, after decantation, the water which is selected, it still has some very fine impurities. For that, what we do? We do filtration using a filter paper. Okay, so now I am demonstrating you how to do sedimentation, decantation and filtration. Now see children, this is a muddy water. Now what I will do, I will keep it aside for some time. So children, when I have kept the muddy water aside for some time, then after some time what we observe here, the impurities have settled down and water is collected on the upper layers. So this process is called sedimentation. Now you can see here, these are the impurities which have settled down. These are the insoluble impurities. impurities and the water is collected upwards. Now children, this is called sedimentation. Now we come to decantation. Now what happens in decantation? Here you can see, without disturbing the impurities, I am pouring this water into another beaker. Using this glass rod. So here you can see I have collected this water by the process called decantation. Now children, you can see this is not very clear, still it has some impurities. So now we will do filtration. So for filtration, I have taken this conical funnel. I have kept it here in this measuring cylinder. Now I am putting a filter paper. You can see here, this is a filter paper. I have made a cone of it. Now I am putting it inside the funnel. Now I'll pour this water which I have collected after decantation slowly and gently into this cone. Here you can see that water is getting collected downwards in this measuring cylinder. It is passing through the filter paper. So children, impurities remains over the filter paper only, and only the water it gets collected downwards. So this process is called as filtration. Now let us see the water which we have collected after filtration. Now see children, it is clear water now which we have collected after filtration. So these are the different methods for purification of water, that is sedimentation and decantation, and another method is filtration. Now we move to boiling. Now children, another method of purification is boiling. It is the simplest way to purify water. The filtered water may contain germs which can make us fall sick. Boiling water kills the germ present in it. So children, as I have told you earlier that there are germs also present in water which we cannot see. So through the process of boiling, when we boil the water, these germs are killed. Then another method here is chlorination. Germs present in water can also be killed by adding chlorine. Chlorination is the process by which chlorine is added to water in order to kill the germs present in it. Chlorine tablets are easily available in the market. So it is one of the chemical which is used to purify the water. We can also purify water by using water filters like AquaGuard or RO at home. So children, most of you might be having AquaGuards or RO filters at your home. So why we use those water filters? So that we can get purest form of water for drinking. Clean water should be stored and handled properly. It should be stored in clean containers, and containers should always be kept covered. So children, this was all about the explanation part of this chapter. I hope you all have understood the explanation well. Now let's move to bookwork and copy work. So children, now let us come to the bookwork. So children, open page number 99 of your book. Let us start with the exercise. Let's recall. Fill in the blanks with the correct words. Now here two words are given in the brackets for your help. You can choose one among them and fill in the blank given. First, mornings and evenings are dash, then noon time. So hotter or cooler. So children, mornings and evenings are cooler than noon time because at this time sun rays are slanting. The sun heats up the water and changes it into dash, ice or water vapor. So children, on heating, water get converted into gaseous form, that is water vapor. So we will write water vapor over here. Evaporation is faster when exposed surface is dash, small or large. So children, when exposed surface is large, evaporation will be faster. So we write large over here. Water exists in all dash states, 4 or 3. So Children, here water exists in all the three states. So these three states are solid, liquid and gas. Then land breeze flows from the dash to the dash. So here land breeze flows during the night time from land to sea. So we will write land here and sea here in the next blank. Now open page number 101. So let's come to the first exercise of let's answer. Exercise number A, tick the correct answers. You have to take the correct option from the given options over here. So first, a gentle and pleasant wind is called gale, storm, breeze, humidity. So children, slowly moving wind which is gentle is called as breeze. What causes changes in seasons? Rotation, revolution, rain or wind. So I have told you that revolution causes changes in seasons, rotation causes day and night. So the correct answer here is B option. We use water for sleeping, drinking, washing, both B and C. So we need water for drinking and washing. So we will put a tick mark on D option. Which of the following is not used for purifying water? Filtration, chlorination, boiling or condensation. So children, condensation here is a process through which water vapor get converted into water droplets on cooling. So it is not a method of purification. So we will put a tick mark on D option. Then when it is very cold, dewdrops freeze to form fog, frost, hail or snow. So when it is very cold, dewdrops get converted into frost and get collected on the surface of leaves. So the correct answer here is the B option. Now children, let's come to exercise number B. Write T for true and F for false statement. So boxes are given over here. You have to write T or F accordingly. First, boiling the water kills germs present in it. So this is a correct statement. So we put a T over here. Filter paper allows impurities to flow through it but not water. Now children, this is a false statement because filter paper do not allow impurities to flow through it. It allows only the water to flow through it. That's why we get the pure water. So we will write F over here. Drinking water should always be stored in a clean containers. Yes, this is a correct statement. So we write T. Water vapor condenses to form tiny droplets of water. This is also a correct statement. So we write T over here. Land heats up and cools down slowly than water. So children, this is a wrong statement because land heats up quickly and it cools down quickly as compared to water. So we write F over here. Now we come to exercise number C. Name the following, page 102. So here, let's start with it. First, movement of the earth causing day and night. So the movement which causes day and night is the rotation in which earth rotates on its own axis. So we write rotation. Breeze blows during the day in coastal areas. So the breeze which blows during the daytime from sea to land is sea breeze. Three uses of water are washing, cooking, drinking. There are many uses of water. You can write any three. Two methods used for purifying water, boiling and chlorination. So children, we have studied several other methods also. So you can write any of them. The blanket of air that surrounds the earth. So this blanket of air is called as atmosphere. Two insoluble impurities. You can write the names of any two insoluble impurities like mud and pebbles. Now we come to the next exercise given on the same page, that is page 102. Exercise let's do number A. Read the clues and unscramble the words given below. So children, here first is the condition of air at a particular place and time. So we all know that condition of air at particular place and at particular time is called weather. So when we unscramble this spelling, we will write WEATHER, weather. Second, solid state of water. So children, water occur in solid form in form of ice. So when we unscramble it, we will write ICE, ice. Third, the process of changing water into water vapor on heating. So this process is called as evaporation. So on unscrambling, we will write the spelling EVAPORATION, evaporation. Fourth is the process of changing water vapor into water on cooling. So this process is called condensation. So we will unscramble it as CONDENSATION, condensation. Then a method of purifying water. So one of the method of purifying water is boiling. So when we unscramble this spelling, BOILING, boiling. So children, this is all about the book work. Now let's move to the copy work. Children, you have to do this copy work in your school notebooks with good handwriting and sharp pencil, and mark the red margins wherever required. So let us start with it. Define the following. First is sedimentation, the process in which insoluble impurities present in a solution settle down at the bottom. Second is decantation, the process by which water is gently poured out to another container after sedimentation. Now we come to answer the following questions. So question number 1 is explain chlorination and filtration. Answer to this is chlorination, the process by which chlorine is added to water in order to kill germs. Second, filtration, the process of purifying water by passing it through a filter paper. Now we move to question number 2. How is dew different from frost? So children, dew is in form of water droplets, but when these water droplets freeze, they form frost. So answer is dew is the water drops formed after condensation of water vapor, and frost is the frozen form of dew drops on the leaves of plants. Now we come to question number 3. Why mornings and evenings are cooler than noon time? So answer is in the noon time sun rays fall straight on the earth, whereas sun rays are slanting in mornings and evenings. Question number 4 here is how land breeze and sea breeze are caused. Question number 4 here is how land breeze and sea breeze are caused. So answer is sea breeze. First point, during the day the air above the land is heated and rises up. Secondly, cool air from the sea blows towards the land. So children, this diagram I have already shown you in my previous video, and I have make you learn also how to draw the diagram. So there you can see. Now let us discuss this diagram. This is the diagram of sea breeze. Here it is sea and here it is land. Now we can see sun over here. So we all know that land gets heated up and cool down faster as compared to water. So warm air from above the land rises up. When it rises up to take the place of this air, the air or the wind above the sea moves towards the land. You can see here wind blows from cool water to warm land. So this is called as sea breeze. Then land breeze. At night the air above the sea water is warmer and so rises up. Here you can see in the diagram the air above the sea water, it rises up because it is warm as compared to that present above the land. Cool air blows from land towards the sea. So to take up its space, wind blows from cool land to the warm water, and this is called land breeze. Now we come to the next question. Draw a picture of water cycle. So children, you can see here this is a water cycle. Here water bodies are present, then there are mountains and land is there. When this water from water body get evaporated, it get converted into clouds over here. So here you have to write evaporation, then you have to write condensation over here. Now these clouds, when they become thicker and heavy, the water fall as rain, so you have to write rain over here. When it falls as rain, it comes back to the water bodies, and this complete cycle is called as water cycle. So this way you have to make a diagram and you have to label it water cycle. I have already taught you how to draw this diagram in this video only, so you can learn from there. So children, this was all about this chapter. I hope you all have understood it well. So complete your book work and copy work. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.